Gye-Nyame date. 8, my fault. 0, 8, 2, 0, 2, 0, dash 4. Started the journey today. Very tired. Had to stay up late last night to work on this computer. Everything was working except the 4 terabytes of memory. And I'm gonna get everything I paid for. Tune in to the show. By the way, happy Ujaama.
Once you're done floating, you can come hang out here. We'll get you some tea or some water.
Okay.
And then this is our event space. So right now it's not in use. We are not having events at the moment. If you are, they are very small. So typically we will have yoga classes here, sound baths, cacao ceremonies, private events as well.
Okay.
Right this way, in addition to massages, so this is in flotation tanks, we also have 2 infrared saunas.
Okay.
So this is our moon sauna. We call it our moon sauna because there is no natural light. Our sun sauna is the exact same unit. There's a lot of natural light in the room, a lot of plants. So there's kind of 2 different vibes so that people have their choice. And then I'll go ahead and show you our first float tank today, which is our wave cabin. I'll go ahead and open it up for you just so you can see what it looks like here. So all of our tanks, and I'll have you keep in mind as we look through each one, all of them are actually the same dimensions except for one. So they're longer than 7 feet, they're wider than 5 feet, and all of them have about a little less than 200 gallons of water in them, but 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt.
Wow.
So as soon as you sit down, your butt will pop right up. I mean, you'll really float effortlessly. And these were designed to be similar to our experience in the womb, which we don't remember, right? We don't recall. So to experience that as a conscious adult, it's a great form of relaxation for both mind and body.
So this one is not totally dark, so
Not yet. So actually, right now the light is on. All of our tanks except the Explorer tank, which we have you floating in, do have light features.
Okay.
That being said, we definitely encourage people to turn those lights out if and when they're comfortable, just to get that full sensory deprivation effect. But even if people are not comfortable with that and they want to have that light on just in case, they're still getting the benefits of flotation therapy. Their bodies are still absorbing all that magnesium from the Epsom salt, so it's drawing out all that inflammation. And also, I'll check, but I think it's either 97 or 99% of people are deficient in magnesium. And magnesium alone, I mean, it can help cure clinical depression and anxiety. So if you went to a holistic doctor, they'd prescribe you a high magnesium diet, but the best way to absorb it is journaling. So that's what you get to do. You're literally floating in a big happy tank for an hour. And then this one, by the time you're laying down, you've got about 6 feet above your head. So really that's the biggest difference between tanks, is how much space you have above your head, and of course that light feature. And we do have 2 of these wave cabins, but they're the exact same, just mirrored images of each other.
want me to close the door?
Yes, please. Thank you, Glenn. Alright, and then this is our open float pool. So right now we do have a pool cover on top of it to keep it nice and toasty. And typically we have these lights in a nice, beautiful, mellow purple just to keep people calm. So really the main difference with this one is, of course, we feel how steamy it is in this room. Because it's not fully enclosed, we have to adjust the air temperature in here to be a lot hotter, just so we can help take away that sensation of touch. So to get rid of that while you're floating, we keep the water at about 94 degrees, and we keep the air at 94 degrees too. That's how you can feel that humidity in here. Just so when you're floating, you lose that sensation of where your body ends and the water begins. So we do offer couples floats in this tank because it is a little bit larger, so people can float at the same time. Of course, again, when we're talking about losing that sensation of touch, we don't typically recommend that, but we do understand that, you know, some people have general anxiety, fear of the unknown, or maybe even fear of the water. So doing this with a partner would make them more comfortable, so that's why we have that option.
Has anybody brought a comfort dog in here?
Has anyone what?
Ever brought a comfort dog? You know how people had a comfort animal?
Good question. No one ever has, actually.
Okay.
We have had people also bring children in to float. Children are allowed to float with a parent or guardian. We typically have them floating here because there's so much more room. And this is also a handicap accessible room, just because we believe everyone should be able to float.
Beautiful.
All right, and then I will take you on to the next room.
Each room has its own shower.
Thank you very much. And this is our earth tank. So again, longer than 7 feet. Here, I'll get your shot.
Okay.
Okay. I love this tank. It looks like a spaceship.
You sure do.
So again, longer than 7 feet, wider than 5 feet. The main difference is that this roof, by the time you're laying down in the water, it's about 3 feet above your head. So it's a little bit closer to your face. However, for perspective, we're closer to our car windshield than we are to the roof of this. But this is why we have that spectrum of tanks, right? Because we understand that everybody is comfortable being fully enclosed. We wanted to have options. But this is kind of a modern take on the original design. So one that's very similar to the original design is actually the one you're floating in, which is next door. And this one, again, does have that light feature inside, that blue light, that of course you can turn off if and when you're comfortable.
Okay.
And yes, each room, like you mentioned, does have a private shower, also a bench with amenities, linens, robes, earplugs, Vaseline, makeup remover wipes, really anything you could need. And then across the hall, we have a restroom here for you. We try to have plants every place we can. And then this is our Explorer tank. I know, I'll have you peek inside here just so you can see what you're looking with.
Totally dark.
This one is totally dark, so really
This is the one I'm getting in.
Exactly. So really the only way that you can even see where the water starts here is by looking at the reflection of the recessed lighting above. And each tank, it's only about 10 to 12 inches deep, so it is actually very shallow water. So by the time you're laying down, you've got about 4.5 feet above your head in this tank. And actually, so again, this one is really close to the original design, but the original design, the first float tank ever designed in 1954, it was a vertical tank. So you're submerged underwater with a mask over your face to protect you from that salt water. And I think if people can be comfortable in a vertical tank, they can definitely be comfortable in a horizontal tank. We don't have you wear like a Darth Vader mask or any of that goodness. It's a little more user-friendly now as it's evolved, that's for sure. And again, same amenities in this room as well. Also featured in each room is a checklist for reference. I will give you a full orientation to explain the process to you, but that also has a step-by-step, just so that when we leave the room, if you have any questions, you have a guide.
Okay.
And then our other sauna room is in use right now, so I cannot show it to you, but I will show it to you when you're all done with it, but today it's still open. And while I'm waiting to get you a massage chair, can I get you any tea or any water?
I'll take some tea.
Absolutely. So it's all decaf, just because we don't want it to disrupt your
Right.
float. So we have mint, honey lavender, which is my favorite. We also have vanilla chai, passion fruit, chamomile, baked cinnamon apple, and vanilla bean macaroon.
The mint.
Okay, absolutely.
So what got you, how did you end up hooking up to be here?
So actually, my dad worked across the street and he watched this building being renovated. And he's like, this looks so interesting. They're carrying these large tanks in here. What are they doing? And he walked over here and said, wow, I want to try this. So he brought me with him. So I tried it, 2 times or so here. And then on my 3rd time, I don't know what got into me, but I was in my tank and I started talking out loud to myself. And at the time, I was not happy at the workplace I was at. And I was looking for spiritual fulfillment in a job. And I was in that tank and I was like, I could work here. I could take out the trash. I could clean a tank. I could talk to guests. And I just said out loud, I will work here. Like I wanted to put that out. I wanted to manifest that for myself. And I contacted them afterward and they said, are you looking for help? And they were. And a year and a half later, I'm the manager. So I get to be here almost every single day and help people try something new, help people that use this as their regular self-care practice every month. Some people come back bi-weekly even. So,
Wow.
And our sauna members come almost every day, some people. So it's
Sauna-
nice for me to see familiar
sauna, wow.
faces, but also new people as well.
So what's the different? What's the benefit of? Because the sauna you described it is different. It's you said it's
It is infrared.
infrared.
Yes, so the main difference between an infrared sauna and a traditional steam sauna is that it's dry, so no steam at all. Also, it only gets to about 140 to 160 degrees, and some traditional saunas are 200 degrees plus. So you can sit in here for a lot longer. The main difference is the way it heats you up. So infrared heat heats you up quite literally from the inside out at a cellular level. So that when you are in there sweating, your cells are pushing out all those toxins, all those heavy metals into your bloodstream so that you can really sweat them out. So it's actually a true full body detox. Traditional saunas, really, you're just losing water weight. And for many of those tubes, doctors don't suggest being there longer than 20 minutes or so. And you can be in here upwards of 2 hours and it would be safe. So the more often you do that, the more it promotes detoxing your body. And also the more you do it, the longer you can stay in, that's for sure.
What's how much is one of the detox sauna thing?
So it really depends on how long you want to do. So we do it based off time. So we have 20-minute sessions, which are $20. We have 30-minute sessions, which are $25. 45 minutes, which are $47, and then you can jump up to a full hour as well for $60. So it just depends on how long you want to do. We also have sauna deals as well for people that are interested in trying it. So Monday is our deal day. We give 20% off any sauna session. And also it's a great day to try floating for the first time as well, because you can do our flotation tank and our massage chair together for $65, and typically that's about $85. So that way people can come in and try something new, especially to start their week out with, to kind of set the tone for their week, to encourage people to just take that breath, to pause, to relax, so they don't have to rush through their week.
So, can you go a little bit more detail about some of the health benefits of the float?
Absolutely. So going back to that Epsom salt itself, right? Your grandma will tell you, oh, your foot hurts, so get an Epsom salt bath. Well, that's not a wives' tale. That's actually scientifically accurate. Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. So it draws out inflammation in the body. So in 5 to 10 minutes in there, your body will be limp. You won't have to hold that tension, which does so much for us. We store tension, we store stress in the body. So having a place to release that is almost essential for us. Also, even trauma gets trapped in the nervous system. So having a place to really let that all go. One once you have a calm body, it's a lot easier to have a calm mind. So physically it helps you, but also emotionally, having a private space that's just for you for an hour, where you're not needed, by anyone, you're not expected to do anything, and where you can just kind of explore. Everyone does something different. Sometimes people sleep because none of those senses, having none of those 5 senses, just allows their body to have that deep, rejuvenating rest. So some people need it for that reason, just for body rejuvenation, but other people do it, for a mental break, for emotional break. So, again, soaking up all that magnesium dermally, you're in like a giant happy bath, essentially. So people use it to help with sleep problems, to help with chronic pain, fatigue, to help with depression, anxiety. Lots of people use this in supplement and treatment for addiction. So there are many reasons this could benefit people.
So it can help with addictions.
Absolutely. And part of the reason is, yes, you are alone, with yourself and your thoughts, but you're in a safe place to do it. So of course we recommend doing it in supplement with other treatment, whatever treatment works best for them. But having a safe space to come to where you are safe, it is just for you, and you get to kind of process through the coping skills you're learning about, the advice you've been given, maybe the 12 steps you're working through, anything like that. You have a space to think about it and process through it here.
Okay.
Also, just a tranquil space, right? So having a place in the community where you can come that's outside of your own home sometimes is really beneficial for people. Because even if home is our comfort place, it's also where we manifest stress sometimes and fear. So having a brand new, bright, lively, plants everywhere environment to come into kind of reminds you that you can get out of your shell.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And then let me go double check on those massage chairs for you, just to see if I can go ahead and get you started.
Massage chair I'm about to get in. I'm going to experience it. Look like a captain's chair. Look at that. We're going to get on this. I'll let y'all know how it is afterwards. I can't take y'all with me on this one. I was about to propose to the chair, but I remember I was already married. But this chair, look at those. Oh my God. All right, so let's go on. We're about to go and take the real adventure and go in for a soak. And this is called the Frontier.
The Explorer.
The Explorer.
The Explorer tank. All right. So I'll have you look inside again here. So once you actually look over it, you can see where that water begins, just because you can see the reflection of the light. So before you start your float today, we do ask you take a shower. Exactly. Just to get all those extra oils and lotions off your skin and hair.
Cool.
So you can skip the conditioner. And we're going to give you about 5 minutes just to take that quick rinse, and then you can jump in.
Cool.
So you'll know that your 60-minute float session has started. We can still play music for you.
Okay.
And it's very calm, atmospheric music, just to help you settle in. But after that first 5 minutes of music, which is how you know it starts, it's going to be silent after that for a full 50 minutes.
Okay.
And then the last 5 minutes of your float, that same music comes back on just to help wake you up.
Okay.
But that last 5 minutes is still part of your float time.
Okay.
So feel free to stay in there.
Should I use the earplugs?
Yes, I'll get to that in just a moment. 5 minutes of music ends for each tank, but for this tank, I would recommend floating with your head on the end nearest to us.
Okay.
Reason being is because this tank has no light features at all. If you need the light, this is a really light, flimsy door, so you can just reach straight up and pop this door open.
Okay.
These lights here are on a motion sensor. So while you're floating, after you've been in the tank for about 20 seconds, they'll shut off. But again, if you need it from inside the tank, as soon as you lift that door open with your hand, the light will flood in.
Cool.
Additionally, floating on this end of the tank means you're a lot closer to this spray bottle of fresh water. We have that just in case you accidentally get any salt water in your eyes. It does not feel too great. So we have that as a precautionary measure. If you spray it in, it's going to roll right out. It's like instant relief. And when I float in here, I will take the washcloth provided, and I will actually hang it up right here as well, just as a pro tip, because that way if you do need a towel or something to wipe your face with, you don't actually have to get out of the tank and fully disturb your float. You can just pop this open and reach and grab it.
Okay.
We'll keep this closed for you too, so it stays nice and toasty. And then also we have, of course, a towel and a washcloth. We also have what we call a halo. It is a neck pillow, and it can go this way or this way, and it goes right behind your head, just like this. It is up to you if you want to use this or not. Some people swear by these and some people never use them. I would encourage you for your first float to at least experiment with it and see if you like it. Again, that's 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt, so your head will float with the rest of your body without this. But we do have it because we're used to sleeping with pillows at home. We're used to having that support, so this has the same effect on the water. Additionally, we also have a makeup remover wipe, but it's also a cleansing towelette. We have some A&D ointment, so if you have any cuts or abrasions, this acts as a really nice barrier against that salt water. It's literally just Vaseline. That being said, if you don't know if you have any cuts or abrasions, you will find out when we get in the tank, exactly. But if it's something small like a nick, a scratch, a paper cut, it's going to go away after a second or two. So this is really for something more substantial you have. And salt will help heal that anyway. And then these are our waterproof earplugs. These are the most important thing you can use today. It's what I encourage everyone to use. It's the same concept as that water crusting up on your skin when you get out of the tank, which is why we have you shower. If you don't have these in, that will happen in your ears too. And that's not going to cause any damage, but these will save you a lot of Q-tips later, which is always helpful. Additionally, they are an extra sound barrier, but even with these in, you will be able to hear that music at the beginning and end of your float because the speaker is actually in the tank and it's right by your head, so you'll be able to hear it. And also, they are in this convenient little case here. We have them like this just because we have so many people that do come back, and we want to really limit our use of single-use plastics here at Ebb and Float, so we wanted to try something new so that people that come back can bring them with them every time to help reduce waste. We also have a trash can for anything you may need, and we do have a robe as well. So if you need to use the restroom stall during your float, you can throw that on and run across the hall just so you don't have to get salt water all over your clothes, get dressed and undressed. And again, we do have this checklist guide that you may use for reference if you need to.
Yes, ma'am.
So in a nutshell, we'll have you pop in the shower, jump in your tank, listen for that 5 minutes of music at the beginning, and again at the end, jump out and shower again, and you can come hang out out front. We'll get you some tea or some water and talk about your experience.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Absolutely. Do you have any questions before you get started today?
No, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Also, if you are more comfortable, there is a lock on the back of the door, so feel free to use that if that makes you more comfortable. Other than that, you're all good to go. All right, enjoy your session. We'll see you in an hour or so.
I finished the float. I zoned out, man. It's a nice experience. I'm telling you right now. So, but I'll talk with y'all in the morning, or on the next show, because I want to digest the experience. All right. I made it to the house, and it's time for the show. And I didn't want to listen to my tape. I'm going to chill. That's a profound experience that I got to go in and process. So, even though y'all won't hear it, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace. Watch the next video. Watch the next video. Watch the next video. No, I'm just joking, family. Family, thank you for joining us. Be sure to catch us on the next video, family. Peace. Watch the next video. Watch.